How to solve any problem in life. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Can you feel it? I am talking about the pressure. We all feel it. Maybe it is a problem with money. Maybe it is a problem at your job. Maybe it is a fight with someone you love. It feels heavy. It feels like a large stone is sitting on your chest. You wake up in the morning, and the stone is there. You go to sleep at night, and the stone is still there. This is life. Life is full of problems. But I have good news for you. The problem is not the bad part. The bad part is how we look at the problem. Here is the lie. Most people think a problem is a stop sign. They hit a wall and they think, "Oh no, my life is over. I cannot go forward. I am stuck." They sit down on the ground. They cry. They wait for someone to save them. Here is the truth. A problem is not a stop sign. A problem is a gym. It is a place to build muscle. When you lift a heavy weight, your muscles get stronger. When you solve a hard problem, your mind gets stronger. The problem is a test. It is asking you, how strong are you today? I am here to be your coach. I will not teach you magic. I do not have a magic wand. I cannot make your problems disappear with a snap of my fingers. I will teach you a system. Think about a mechanic. When a car breaks down, the mechanic does not cry. The mechanic does not scream. The mechanic looks at the engine. He finds the broken part. He fixes it. You are going to become the mechanic of your life. We will fix this together. Welcome to Luminary English, where stories light the way to better English. You are not just watching a video. You are stepping into a story. Listen closely, feel every word, and let today be the chapter that changes your English forever. Part 1. The Power of the Pause. Let us start with the first step. This is the most important step. It is called the power of the pause. When a problem hits us, we feel emotion, we feel fear, we feel anger, we feel panic. Our heart beats very fast. Our hands shake. Our face gets hot. This is normal, but you cannot solve a problem with a hot head. You cannot think clearly when your brain is on fire. Here is the misconception. Most people think they must act immediately. They think, I have a problem. I must fix it right now. Fast, fast, fast. They run around like a chicken with no head. They make noise. They make mistakes. They make the problem bigger. Let me tell you a story about two men. Let us look at person A. We will call him John. John is in his kitchen. He is holding a glass of milk. Suddenly, the glass slips from his hand. Smash! The glass hits the floor. Milk goes everywhere. Glass pieces go everywhere. What does John do? He panics. He screams, "Oh no, what a mess!" He is angry. He tries to clean it up immediately. He drops to his knees. He uses his bare hands to pick up the glass. He is moving too fast. He is not looking. Ouch! John cuts his hand on a sharp piece of glass. Now look at the situation. Before, John had one problem. He had a dirty floor. Now, John has two problems. He has a dirty floor and he has a bleeding hand. He made it worse because he did not pause. Now, let us look at person B. We will call him Mark. Mark is in his kitchen. He drops a glass of milk. Smash. The milk splashes. The glass breaks. What does Mark do? He freezes. He does not move. He does not speak. He takes a deep breath, in through his nose, out through his mouth. He counts to 10 in his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. His heart slows down. His brain turns on. He looks at the mess. He thinks, okay, this is just milk. This is just glass. He walks slowly to the closet. He gets a broom. He puts on shoes to protect his feet. He cleans the mess safely. 5 minutes later, the floor's clean. Mark is fine. This is the solution. You must use the 10-second rule. When a problem hits you, do not move. Do not send that angry text message. Do not scream at your boss. Do not throw the paper. Freeze. Be a statue. Let the emotion pass through you like wind. Wait for your logic to return. Practice this with me. We will say a phrase to help you remember. I want you to repeat this sentence 3 times. Speak out loud. I am calm and I am ready. Part 2. Name the monster. Now that you are calm, we move to the next step. We must see the problem. We must know what we are fighting. Fear comes from the unknown. When we do not know what is in the dark, we are scared. We imagine monsters. We imagine ghosts. But when we turn on the light, we see it is just a coat on a chair. It is not a monster. Here is the misconception. People use vague language. They say things like, my life is bad, or everything is wrong, or I am a failure. This is too big. You cannot fix life. Life is huge. You cannot fix everything. Everything is too much. You can only fix a specific thing. Let me tell you a story about 2 women. Person A is named Sarah. Sarah is the worrier. It is late at night. Sarah is lying in her bed. She is looking at the ceiling. She is crying. She says to herself, I have no money. I am poor. I will lose my house. I will starve. She feels terrible. Her stomach hurts. But ask Sarah a question. Ask her, Sarah, exactly how much money do you need? Sarah does not know. She just feels poor. Because she does not know the number, the problem feels like a giant monster. It feels infinite. She cannot fight it because she cannot see the edges of it. Now, let us look at person B. Her name is Lisa. Lisa is the accountant. Lisa has the same situation. She does not have much money. But Lisa does not cry in the dark. She turns on the light. She sits at her desk. She takes a piece of paper and a pen. She opens her bank account. She says, okay, I have a money problem. Let me look at the facts. She does the math. She looks at her rent. She looks at her food costs. She writes down the numbers. She calculates the difference. She sees the result. She needs exactly $500 by the end of the month. Now, the monster has a name. The name of the monster is $500. It is not my life is over. It is just $500. Lisa can think of ways to get $500. She can sell some old clothes. She can work extra hours. She has a target. This is the solution. You must write it down. Get the problem out of your head and onto paper. Do not let the problem float in your mind like a cloud. Catch it. Pin it down. Write, the problem is, and finish the sentence. Be specific. A named monster is not scary. A named monster is just a task. Let us practice the shadowing phrase. Repeat after me. I see the problem clearly. Part 3. The Salami Slice Method. You are calm. You have named the problem. But maybe the problem is still very big. It feels like a mountain. You stand at the bottom and look up. The top is so high. You feel tired before you even start walking. This brings us to the Salami Slice Method. Here is the misconception. We think we must solve the whole problem at one time. We look at the finish line. We think about all the work we have to do. This makes us feel heavy. We feel lazy. We want to escape. Let me tell you a story about two men who need to clean their houses. Person A is Tom. Tom is the dreamer. Tom's house is a disaster. There are clothes on the floor in the bedroom. There are dirty dishes in the kitchen sink. There are old papers in the living room. Tom stands in the middle of the house. He looks left. He looks right. He sees hours and hours of work. He says, "This is impossible. It will take all day. I am too tired." So, what does Tom do? He does nothing. He sits on the sofa. He turns on the television. He eats chips. The house stays dirty. The problem stays there. Person B is Jerry. Jerry is the worker. Jerry's house is also a mess. But Jerry does not look at the whole house. He uses his hands to make blinders, like a horse. He blocks his view. He walks to the kitchen. He does not look at the sink. He looks at one corner of the counter, just one small square. He says, "I will just clean this corner, that is all." He cleans the corner. It takes 3 minutes. He feels good. He sees a clean spot. Then he says, "Okay, I will wash just 2 plates." He washes 2 plates. Then he washes 2 more. Jerry cuts the big job into thin slices, like a salami sausage. You cannot eat a whole sausage in one bite. You will choke. You must slice it thin. You eat one slice, then another. By the end of the day, Jerry has cleaned the whole house. He did it one slice at a time. This is the solution. Forget the mountain. Look at your feet. What is the very next small step? Do not write a book. Write 1 page. Do not build a wall. Lay 1 brick. Focus only on the slice in front of you. Let us say the phrase together. Small steps lead to big wins. Part 4. Facts over feelings. We are moving forward. But sometimes our brain tries to trick us. Our brain loves drama. It loves to tell us scary stories that are not true. This step is called facts over feelings. Here is the misconception. People guess. They feel something bad and they assume the worst-case scenario. They think their feelings are facts. If they feel scared, they think there is danger. But feelings are not facts. Feelings are like the weather. They change. Facts are like rocks. They are solid. Let me tell you a story about 2 men who feel a pain. Person A is David. David is the guesser. One day, David feels a small pain in his stomach. It hurts a little bit. David immediately feels scared. He opens his computer. He goes to the internet. He searches for stomach pain. He reads terrible things. The internet says it could be a rare disease. It says he might only have 1 week to live. David believes this. He starts to cry. He writes a letter to his family saying goodbye. He lies in bed and waits for the end. He is in a panic. He is living in a nightmare. Person B is Paul. Paul is the researcher. Paul feels the same pain in his stomach. It hurts. Paul does not guess. He says, "I do not know what this is. I need data." He goes to a doctor. He speaks to an expert. The doctor checks him. The doctor asks questions. The doctor does a test. Then the doctor smiles. "Paul," the doctor says, "you ate some bad cheese yesterday. You have a gas bubble. Take this medicine and drink water." Paul takes the medicine. 1 hour later, he is fine. He goes to play football with his friends. David suffered for days because he believed his feelings. Paul solved the problem in 1 hour because he looked for facts. This is the solution. Stop guessing. Stop telling yourself scary stories. Be a detective. Ask questions. Is this true? Do I know this for a fact? Who can tell me the real answer? Get real data before you panic. Repeat this phrase to build your detective mind. I look for the truth. Part 5. The map of options. Now you have the facts. You know what the problem is, but maybe you think there is only one way to solve it. And maybe that one way is blocked. This step is called the map of options. Here is the misconception. We get tunnel vision. We see only one road. We think, I must do it this way. If this way fails, I am finished. This makes us fragile. If the door is locked, we stand there and cry. We forget that there are windows. We forget there is a back door. We forget there is a chimney. Let me tell you a story about two men who missed the bus. Person A is Mike. Mike is the one-way man. Mike needs to go to work. He runs to the bus stop. He sees the bus driving away. He is 2 minutes late. Mike stops running. He puts his hands on his head. He thinks, I missed the bus. I cannot go to work. My boss will fire me. Mike turns around. He walks home. He feels defeated. He sits on his couch and feels sad. He loses a day of work. Maybe he loses his job. He gave up because his plan A failed. Person B is Steve. Steve is the strategist. Steve also runs to the bus stop. He sees the bus driving away. He is late. Steve thinks, okay, plan A is gone. The bus is gone. What are my options? He takes out his phone. He looks at his map. Option A was the bus. Failed. Option B, is there a taxi? He checks the app. Yes, but it is expensive. Option C, can I call a friend? He calls his friend Joe. Joe is busy. Option D, can I rent a bicycle? There's a bike station on the corner. Steve rents the bike. He rides fast. It is hard work, but he moves. He arrives at work. He is a little sweaty, but he is on time. He kept his job. This is the solution. Never have just one plan. Always find 3 ways to solve a problem. Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C. If the front door is locked, go to the window. If the window is locked, go to the cellar. Water always finds a way to flow. Be like water. Let us shadow this important mindset. There is always another way. Part 6. The 5-minute start. You have a plan. You have options. But now you have to do the work. And the work looks hard. You want to wait. You want to check your phone. You want to eat a snack. This is called procrastination. It is the enemy of action. We need the 5-minute start. Here is the misconception. We think we need to feel motivated before we work. We wait for a special feeling. We wait for energy. We wait for the stars to align. But motivation does not come first. Action comes first. Motivation comes second. Let me tell you a story about 2 women who need to write an important email. Person A is Anna. Anna is the waiter. She sits at her computer. She opens the email program. It is blank. She sighs. She says, I do not feel creative right now. She goes to the kitchen. She makes coffee. She comes back. She checks the news. She cleans her desk. She looks out the window. She waits to feel ready. The sun goes down. The day ends. The email is still blank. Person B is Maria. Maria is the doer. She sits at her computer. She feels tired. She does not want to write. But Maria knows a secret. She sets a timer on her phone for 5 minutes. She says to herself, I do not have to finish this email. I only have to write for 5 minutes. I can do anything for 5 minutes. She presses start. She starts typing. The first sentence is bad. She keeps typing. Suddenly, something happens. The timer rings. 5 minutes are up, but Maria does not want to stop. She is in the flow. She has energy now. She finishes the email in 20 minutes. This is the solution. Do not wait for the feeling. The feeling comes after you start moving. It is like a cold car engine. You must turn the key to warm it up. Commit to just 5 minutes. Tell yourself, only 5 minutes. Usually you will keep going. Repeat this phrase, I act and then I feel. Part 7. The pivot. You started, you took action, but what if it goes wrong? What if you try to fix the problem and you fail? This brings us to the pivot. This is how we handle failure. Here is the misconception. People think failure is a judgment. They think if they fail, they are stupid. They take it personally. They say, I am bad at this. But failure is not a judgment. Failure is just data. It is information. It is the world telling you, not that way. Try another way. Let me tell you a story about 2 men fixing a sink. Person A is Robert. Robert is the victim. His kitchen sink is leaking water. Drip, drip, drip. Robert buys a wrench. He tries to tighten the pipe. Suddenly the pipe bursts. Water sprays everywhere. It hits Robert in the face. He is wet. He is cold. Robert gets angry. He throws the wrench across the room. He kicks the cabinet. He sits on the wet floor and cries. He says, I am so stupid. I ruin everything. I can never fix anything. He gives up. Person B is James. James is the scientist. James tries to fix his sink. The same thing happens. The pipe bursts. Water sprays in his face. James wipes the water from his eyes. He does not cry. He looks at the pipe. He says, interesting. That did not work. Why? He looks closely. He sees the pipe was rusty. He realizes he used too much force. He says, okay, I learned something. I need a new pipe, and I need to be gentle. James goes to the store. He buys a new pipe. He comes back. He tries again. This time, he is gentle. The leak stops. This is the solution. Be a scientist. When things go wrong, do not get mad. Get curious. Ask why. Treat the failure like a lesson in a classroom. It taught you what not to do. Now you know more than you did before. Change your method, not your goal. Let us practice this strong mindset. I learn from every mistake. Part 8. The power of time. Sometimes a problem is not solved in one day. Some problems are deep. They need time. This step is called the power of time. Here is the misconception. We are impatient. We live in a world of instant speed. We want fast food. We want fast internet. We want fast results. If the problem is not gone by Tuesday, we quit. But big problems are like big rocks. You cannot break them with one hit. You need water. Water is soft. But water cuts through rock because it never stops flowing. Let me tell you a story about two women who want to get healthy. Person A is Linda. Linda is the sprinter. She looks in the mirror. She wants to lose weight. She wants to be strong. On Monday, Linda goes to the gym. She exercises for 3 hours. She runs fast. She lifts heavy weights. She pushes her body very hard. The next morning, Linda cannot move. Her muscles hurt. She is exhausted. She hates the gym. She does not go on Tuesday. She does not go on Wednesday. She quits. She tried to do too much, too fast. Person B is Karen. Karen is the walker. Karen wants to get healthy too. Karen does not go for 3 hours. She decides to walk for 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes. She walks on Monday. It is easy. She walks on Tuesday. She walks on Wednesday. It rains on Thursday, but she puts on a coat and walks. She never stops. She does not see a change in 1 week. But after 6 months, Karen is different. She is slim. She is strong. She has energy. She won because she was consistent. This is the solution. Be the river, not the flood. Do not try to solve your whole life in one afternoon. Small actions, repeated every day, create miracles. Patience is your weapon. Repeat after me. I do not stop moving. Part 9. The Team Advantage. We are almost at the end. But there is one tool many people forget. They think they have to be a hero. They think they have to be alone. This is the team advantage. Here is the misconception. We think asking for help makes us look weak. We have an ego. We want to say, I did it by myself. But trying to do everything alone is not strong. It is slow. And sometimes it is dangerous. Let me tell you a story about two men moving a sofa. Person A is Frank. Frank has a big ego. He buys a new sofa. It is very heavy. It is made of solid wood. Frank wants to move it into his house. He drags it. He pushes it. He pulls it. His face turns red. The sofa scratches the floor. Frank feels a sharp pain in his back. Crack, he hurts his back. He falls down. The sofa is stuck in the doorway. Now Frank is injured, and the sofa is not moved. He failed because he was too proud. Person B is Sam. Sam is the leader. Sam has a heavy sofa too. He looks at it. He knows it is heavy. Sam picks up his phone. He calls his neighbor Bob. He says, "Hey Bob, can you help me for 5 minutes?" Bob comes over. Sam takes one end. Bob takes the other end. They lift it together. It is easy. They walk it into the house. It takes 1 minute. After, they sit on the sofa and drink tea. They laugh. Sam saved his back. He saved his time. He was smart. This is the solution. Use the brains and muscles of other people. You are not alone in this world. A smart general uses his army. If you don't know the answer, ask someone who knows. If the weight is too heavy, ask for a hand. Let us say the phrase, asking for help is smart. Part 10. The post-game review. You did it. You paused. You named the monster. You sliced the salami. You took action. You solved the problem. Congratulations. But you are not finished. There is one last step. It is called the post-game review. Here is the misconception. The problem is gone, so we forget about it. We are happy. We go back to our old habits. But if you do not change your habits, the problem will come back. It will return like a ghost. Let me tell you a story about two men who lose their keys. Person A is Tony. Tony is the repeater. Every morning, Tony runs around his house. Where are my keys? Where are my keys? He is stressed. He is late for work. Finally, he finds them under the sofa. He is happy. He goes to work. But what happens the next day? He loses them again. And the next day. And the next day. Tony solves the problem every day, but he never fixes the system. He lives in a circle of stress. Person B is Bill. Bill is the improver. One day, Bill loses his keys. He searches. He finds them in his jacket. Bill stops. He thinks, I do not like this feeling. I do not want to lose my keys again. How do I stop this? Bill goes to the store. He buys a small wooden bowl. He puts the bowl on a table next to his front door. He makes a rule. When I enter the house, the keys go in the bowl. No exceptions. The next day, he comes home. He puts the keys in the bowl. The next morning, he knows exactly where they are. Bill never loses his keys again. He did not just solve the problem. He killed the problem. This is the solution. Fix the system. When a problem is finished, ask yourself, why did this happen? And how can I prevent it next time? Learn the lesson so you do not have to repeat the class. Let us shadow the final phrase. I get better every day. Part 11. My personal battle. Now I want to speak to you as a friend. I want to use my own voice. I used to struggle with this too. When I started this channel, Luminary English, I felt a heavy weight. I wanted to teach you. I wanted to make great videos. But I was scared. I looked at the camera and I felt like John in the kitchen. I wanted to panic. I thought, what if my voice is bad? What if nobody listens? What if I fail? The problem felt like a giant monster. I wanted to hide in my bed. I waited for the perfect time to start. I waited for months. Then I remembered the mechanic. I stopped. I took a breath. I named the monster. The monster was just fear of judgment. I used the Salami Slice Method. I did not think about 1,000 videos. I thought about one script. I wrote one sentence, then another. I used the 5-minute start. I turned on the microphone for just 5 minutes, and look at us now. I am here speaking to you. You are here listening to me. We are learning together. The problem that scared me became the bridge that connected us. I look back and I smile. The problem made me strong, and your problems will make you strong too. We have traveled a long way today. We started with pressure and panic. We ended with a system and strength. Remember the mechanic. When the car breaks, he does not cry. He gets his tools. You have the tools now. 1. Pause and breathe. 2. Name the monster. 3. Slice the salami. 4. Check the facts. 5. Make a map of options. 6. Start for 5 minutes. 7. Pivot if you fail. 8. Be patient like the river. 9. Ask for help. 10. Fix the system. I have a challenge for you. Do not just listen to this video and forget it. Pick one problem today. Just one small problem. Maybe a dirty room. Maybe an email you need to send. Maybe a difficult phone call. Apply these steps. Do not worry about the result. Focus on the method. Be the mechanic. If this system helped you, show me. Click the like button. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe to Luminary English so you never miss a lesson, and I want to hear from you. In the comments, tell me, what is one small problem you will solve today? Write it down. Name your monster in the comments. You are strong. You are capable. You are a problem solver. Go and fix it.